Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, Robot Damashii Gym Sniper Ver Anime. Now once again, this week I was trying to review something else, a gunpla kit, a P-Bandai gunpla kit, but once again this kind of arrived at an interesting timing, so I definitely decided to give this a little bit more priority. So the P-Bandai kit I was going to review, it will be reviewed next week. So, this is the Gym Sniper Ver Anime. So, the moment they released or announced and released the Robot Damashii Gym Ground Type Ver Anime, I was pretty much 100% confident that they were going to go and release this variant as well. And I'm really thankful for that because, number one, I missed the pre-orders for the Gym Ground Type. And yeah, it's not easy to get, especially gym types are very popular in my country. So, yeah, they're kind of difficult to get even in the secondhand market. Alright, so before I start the review, there will be comparisons, but once again, yes, I have reviewed the P-Bandai exclusive HGUC version of this mobile suit. Problem is, it's at my parents' house. For those who don't know, I decided to move out because of my job. So yeah, about 80 to 90% of my collection is at my parents' house. But I will be doing a comparison with a different kit that is pretty much based on the Gundam Ground Type and Gym Ground Type, so hopefully that will be a little bit more helpful to you guys as well. Alright, so let's start with the review. So as usual, let's go over the components, because once again there are some components I would like to get rid of because they are pretty much the same exact components that we have seen in the past before. So let's go over them really quickly. So let's talk about effect parts. So first of all, what you get, of course, is basically the mobile suit itself. Here, the really cool looking Gym Sniper in green colors, and then here we have the effect parts. So let's take out the typical and obvious one. So number one, we get a curved beam saber effect part. I do love this version as well, so that's sad. We get 3 beam saber effect parts. 2 are the short ones, and then 1 is the extremely long one. Now the way how you can use these is, number one, is to use it on the beam saber hilt. So you get 2 beam saber hilts. These can be actually stored into the legs like we see in the anime and games. So we can either plug them in, even including the large one. So you can either use that, or you can attach these to a beam rifle weapon. So like in this case, you have a beam sniper rifle. There you go. And then we have this part, which is basically another extra effect part. So if you want to have the more intense or emitting beam effect part, this is what you use. This also works on the rifle and also onto the beam saber itself, like that. So although the big one does look a little bit awkward, but it does look pretty good on the small one. So I believe originally this was also used for the GPO2 beam saber effect part. So either way, we get these 4 beam saber effect parts, which we have seen in the past before. So nothing too different from those. And then, oops, let me just get that. Okay, and then we get these effect parts. So these can be used in various ways, but for this kit, these are either smoke effect parts or coolant effect parts. So I'll get into the details later, but yeah, these are small effect parts where they don't actually snap attached to anything. These are just used in various purposes, which I'll be getting to that later. So let me just put these aside for now. And once again, as I mentioned before, like in the series or anime games that you've seen before, the beam sabers can be held inside the legs like that. So pretty cool detail, and yeah. Granted, the HG also does that, but in a more, let's just say, a little bit more simpler way. Alright, so let's talk about the hands. Once again, we still get the hand racks. So currently I am using the multi-purpose hands that were already attached to the figure right away. So hand wise, number one, we get 2 trigger fingers for the left and right, a semi-open hand for left and right, a fully open hand in left and right, and this one is, I believe, kind of similar to the multi-purpose hand, but meant for holding the beam saber in a slightly more specific angle. So yeah, so you get 5 hand sets in total, and once again the hand guards are green as color accuracy as well. Alright, and we get this part. So this part, at first I thought it was a shield connector, but once again it reminded me that this is the ground type variant. So they use this specific shield, which means they also have their own dedicated connector right over here. So this is actually meant for storing the machine gun onto the back skirt here. So you have this peg here that connects to that small peg right over there. So I believe, yeah, you connect it like this, according to the manual. I'm actually kind of surprised there is enough clearance for space like that, and then this will attach to the back skirt right over here. So if you flip this up open, I believe there is a way to actually open this. Yeah, yeah, but basically there should be a small port that allows you to connect that small piece. So let me just, there we go. So while granted it is a round piece over here, the peg here is actually in one of those cross designs. So once again, you can actually slap it on like that, and you can store the machine gun like that. So this is something I wasn't really expecting or wasn't even aware of, but yeah, it's a pretty neat detail to me. So that's that. Alright, so once again, you do get the machine gun, same machine gun that we've seen before, handle wise, and then you can actually detach the ammo clip, or ammo magazine, sorry. So nothing too special there, and you do, like as usual, you do get the extra ammo magazines onto the side skirts, and those can actually detach. Once again, here is the shield with the number 3 on it, and this time in green. We still get the same gimmicks before, so nothing too special here. Now, the only thing that I would say is lacking compared to the HD version is that every shield here, well, it depends on the kit, but once again, they would actually have this another clip thing where it can make it stand on its own. So I guess this specific unit doesn't really need that, so I guess they got rid of it. Oops, sorry about that. And finally, for weapon wise, here is the beam sniper rifle. Definitely loving the overall design here. Yeah, and the scope is painted in red. Now usually for the Masquerade kit, if I remember correctly, these would be usually as clear pieces, or like one of those gigantic orb stickers. Once again, there's nothing too special moving here. This front handle does move, but this is not the handle that you actually hold, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, but so far I do love the overall design, what we see here. Alright, so I'll be demonstrating it later. And one last thing is that when you receive this figure, you might notice the box is extremely big. That is because you get this gigantic stand or base. So for those who don't remember from the series, when the Gym Sniper actually takes in action for the first time, it shoots down a certain aircraft, let's just put it that way, or spacecraft. And yeah, this is where he is standing on. This is basically connecting the unit to a coolant device or a gigantic generator. So yeah, because it required a lot of power, so they connected to a gigantic generator. And the smoke effect part is basically, you know, either the coolant activating it and making it cool down, hence making the steam, or just heat steam, either one of that, but it's one of those as well. And you might notice that there is a wire. This wire does actually connect to the base itself as well. And then the other end will actually connect to the back of the unit of the kit. So once again, pretty cool design and effect going on here. I believe now I never got the Masquerade version of this unit yet, but I believe for the Masquerade they give you something, a smaller generator that connects, where the wire connects to the sniper rifle, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. But once again, I'll be demonstrating this later. Alright, so we finally seen the components. Usually my reviews are always eaten up by showing the components for every Premium Bandai kit, because usually Premium Bandai kits are loaded with leftover parts and other stuff to mention. Alright, so before we go on to the articulation, let's do a quick comparison with an HGUC kit. So a lot of people tend to ask how the scale is, what scale our robot Damashis are, how big they are. Now once again, I will mention this multiple times. Robot Damashii figures do not have scale. They are not really mentioned on the box as well, so they are technically scale-less. But once again, if you want to have like a small, brief, general scale, usually they're kind of on the same size as a typical 1:144 scale HUC kit. So they are roughly on the same size, but most mobile suit is like that. But there are exceptions where like F91 is supposed to be a much smaller unit. So when you get the kit in the figure will be much bigger, because the Robot Damashii does not follow the scale aspect. Alright, so here is a kit based on the Gundam HUC Gym Ground type, or Gundam Ground type. So this is from a certain Premium Bandai set that I have reviewed before. All I did was basically swap out the head with the typical Gym Ground type head, because that is a leftover piece. Alright, so doing a quick comparison, don't mind the knee section, that's just the design for this specific mobile suit that was in that Premium Bandai set. So doing a quick, comparison. So because still a lot of people don't understand like what's the point of Robot Damashii, like isn't the HG or the gunpla kit the same? Yes and no. They're the same mobile suits or same type of mobile suits, but there are different design styles, aspects, and scale and other aspects that just to check. So once again, right off the bat, the head style is a bit different. So the HGC kit or gunpla kit is a much more squarish, clunky looking design. The Robot Damashii has that smoother look on it. A little bit more roundish aspects can be seen. Even the body section here, the cockpit section or the chest area. The HGC or gunpla is much more larger, while this is a little bit more compact. Even the vents are in different sizes as well, so kind of interesting. And then once again, side skirts, you can see front skirts are much longer on the gunpla kit, and then the legs are much more chunked. I think the Royal Damashii version is much more chunkier as well. And then, we'll exclude the arms and legs in general because you know how it works. And then looking at the backpack, while they are the similar looking backpacks, you can see the size and style differences. So the Robot Damashii version is much more longer, but narrow, while the gunpla kit version is actually much more wider. So yeah, it's really interesting to see these kind of small details and differences for gunpla compared to gunpla and Robot Damashii. Anyway, so that's pretty much a simple comparison. So let's look at the articulation right away. So once again, I absolutely love the gym variants, especially their visors. Loving the green visor, and then the fact that I can see behind the visor as well. So the head can go down that much and then up. Pretty well done, really well done as well. Although I'm not sure how often this will be being used as a sniper, but unless he's lying down like a real sniper. And then 360, I would say I'm not gonna recommend it because not like this. So you have to basically, if in this form, if something is locking its way, but if I lift up the head a little bit and then at a certain angle, going 360 is possible. Kind of an interesting aspect that I haven't seen for a while, but yeah. And then everything, the lens or lens and cameras, they're all colored very well. Alright, so now looking at the shoulder articulation. Once again, one of the interesting parts about Robot Damashii is the way how is the articulation on the body and the shoulder. So usually a gunpla kit would be as a ball joint and would allow you to move forward and backward like that, and then there will be another extra joint so that you can go further forward like that. But for Robot Damashii, it's slightly different. So the ball joint aspect, ball joint, kind of, not exactly a ball joint aspect, but once again, instead of the shoulder going forward, the chest allows it to go forward like that. So you do get the forward movement, and with a little bit more wiggle, you can go forward. But for backwards, you can actually see there is another joint there that allows you to go backwards as well. And then not only that, you can go upwards like this. So so ball joint connection there, a little bit different style than we expect, because the gunpla would be that the ball joint would be onto the shoulder and it connects into the inside. This is the opposite way. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the arm shoulder articulation. So because of this, 360 no problem as well. Bend wise, no problem. Double jointed bend as usual. And then 360. Be careful. So you could technically force the arm to go 360, but there's not much clearance inside the shoulder. So technically possible, but not really recommended as well. And hands, unlike gunpla, once again, the ball joint is on the arm and the hand has the hole. Well, in gunpla, it's the other way around. Alright. And then for body wise, you do get a nice ab crunch going on here. Side to side, a little bit wiggle-ish. And then side to side rotation, I would say no, because it's usually the back skirt that's blocking the way. But once again, I don't think most really need to go 360 on their body, because there's no reason, because they all have the cameras. And then front skirts are pretty much your typical style or design front skirts. They can move forward, upwards. Side skirts move a little bit. Back skirt does not move. And here is that magazine I was talking about. You can detach it if you want to do so. And then there is a side swivel going on here, but it's a slightly different style of side swivel. But once again, it is existent like that. And then going forward, no problem. Backwards, a little bit problematic because the back skirt does not move. Bend, excellent bend going on here. And I do like the small details where when you bend the knee, you can see the knee armor is slightly going upward. So small detail actions going on there. That's pretty well done. And then unlike the gunpla kit, you can see there's actually a dedicated slot to put in the beams here, while like gunpla, you just pretty much slap onto the cover and then you close it on manually. But this one, it's not a detaching thing. You can see it's all has a latch system going on there. And then once again, feet, pretty much what you expect. You can go down that much. You do get a slight toe bend, and once again, once you do the toe bend, you can see the armor actually moving upwards. and then side to side movement is possible. Now 360 I wouldn't really recommend because of the overall design, and then we do get a very nice pivot joint as well. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the unit, so I think I'll be right back with some demonstration with this equipment, but once again I will be only showing two demonstrations. One is the basic machine gun effect, and then lastly we will go over the sniper rifle effect. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the most basic demonstration here. So number one, here we have the machine gun and the shield combination. Once again, trigger finger hand holds it no problem as well. Shield, once again, plugged in very well, nothing is loose at all. One thing I forgot to mention, once again, I guess it was a very typical thing for a robot Damashii, but once again we have the latch system on the leg joints here, or on the side joints, which is why you can kind of relocate the leg position if you want to do so. So that system is still existent, so just keep that in mind. And before we go on to the sniper rifle demonstration here, so once again, there's no way to actually store the sniper rifle onto the back or back skirt onto the unit. So that is a little bit sad, but once again, I guess that would require a different type of backpack. So for those who don't remember, I believe the Gym Sniper does have two types of backpack. One is the typical design here. The second one is I believe there's another design which looks like a little bit large generator kind of thing, or I could be confused with the Zaku one, the Zaku Sniper. But once again, I believe there is another backpack for like the Master Gear where it comes with like multiple wires connecting to the sniper rifle. But once again, that's just the way how it is. And for the action base or stand, so there's this antenna piece that they tell me to attach, which I did. And then there is this cover here, number one, that can, if you have an action base, you can connect an action base here. Not the stand, but the actual long part that connects to the unit. So that's that. And then we can actually cover up this part, which is the main area where we will be connecting the wires as well to the unit. So yeah, now this might be a little bit different situation for everybody, but this is actually pretty cool. Now because it may be the fact that I don't have anything like this. This is kind of like the same situation for like the Gym Quell. It comes with the truck carrier. So yeah, and I believe that's pretty much it. There's nothing too special to store in, but yeah, it does mention like the bottom section here, nothing too special. But there's all these small bits and pieces here and there. All right, so I'll be right back with the sniper rifle demonstration. So let's see what we got. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the full demonstration regarding the sniper rifle and the overall base that we have here. And I didn't have too much expectations regarding this whole, the effect part, the base set. But after having everything in the right place, this really looks really cool and amazing. And so, which makes me even more happier for my purchase. So once again, these effect parts, once again, they can be either smokes or the coolant effect, but it's really up to your imagination. And these things actually do have another purpose other than just being effect parts, which I'll get into that later. And once again, the beam effect part definitely helps the more vibe or to make it more lively regarding this set. But for now, for the sake of showing a few things, I'm gonna detach this for now because I can't rotate this entire thing without that attached. So once again, the way this works is basically, as I mentioned before, you pop this section open, and then there should be 4 holes. You connect these 4 connectors, ports, like here on the backpack. There's 2 sides. Each side will have 2 wires, and you connect it there. And you can see there's this gray piece that is connected here. In order to do that from the backpack, you do need to take off these green parts from each side. So, and there is a left and right, so no need to worry about knowing which way is which, because there is actually a difference regarding the pegs connected there. And yeah, so it does it does look a little bit messy, so I do consider that covering this up will make it much better as well. And looking on the other side now, this can be a little bit, depending on your taste or preference, this may look a little bit messy or not, but once again, the wires may look a bit messy, but with a bit of wire management, it should be fine. Now, when you first do this pose, this could be a little bit tricky because of wires, because of wire weight and such. They can be like moving the figure all over the place. So you like, I don't know, put some heat onto the wire, or you put it in the position you want, and then you kind of make the overall figure stuck. Or you kind of lock them into place using the effect parts, because it does actually help with the balance as well. So, and then from there, all you need to do is just fiddle around with the hands and other angles, and you're good to go. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, I really love this set, not only because it's a gym variant, but once again, I am a big fan of the Gym Sniper, but I'm just amazed to the fact with a few extra pieces or parts, you can actually make a really nice, decent diorama with this. And yeah. So that is pretty much it for the review. So I'm pretty sure there are people out there that are slightly disappointed with the components, but for now, I personally am satisfied. If they ever do release another variant regarding the Gym Sniper, I think I might try it out. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive Robot Damashii Gym Sniper Ver Anime. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.